Can you tell us about the worlds that managed to overthrow the reptilians? The planets that overthrew the reptilians. Did you get that?
I got that question. That was good. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have specific information about that. The only specific information I have about, in particular, one race was the Procyon that were able to overcome the complete control of the Greys, which in our linear time was for 600 years that they had control and domination over the Procyons. And essentially what they had to do, because they couldn't get signal out. Okay, they had defense. They couldn't get a signal out, or they didn't know because their civilization was shut down so quickly that essentially what they had to do was create an entirely underground culture using the females of their race predominantly underground to become not only psychics but clairvoyants, but sages, seers. They had to create this entire underground subculture that was so spiritually powerful that when the time was right and they had the right amount of numbers, that they would allow themselves to be known and they would broadcast a call for help that would pierce the veil or the fence that was surrounding the planet, which is in fact what they did. And it was the feminine of their race that did this because of their emotional passion. Emotion is an incredible tool. It can never be underestimated. Okay? I understand that many of the men came up with the idea, but it was only the women who could pull this off because of their extremes of emotions, which are much broader than a man. Okay? They somehow were able to call for help, and help came almost immediately. I don't know every single detail about that. And there is more, in fact, information about that in my notes, which I don't have. But that's all I can remember at the moment. They were able to get help. They were able to break free of the matrix. And, this is what, the Greys did this. I mean, they would go to a planet and they would harvest it and they would take what they wanted. And when they were done taking it or there was nothing left that they wanted, they would move on, but we all know the Greys hang out with the reptilians. Now, were there actually Draconians and an Orion group there with the Greys on this planet? I do not know. I don't have that information. But it was predominantly the Greys. That much I do know. The regressive Greys. Okay? That's what I know.
So is something like that happening on Earth as well, Alex? Is that happening on Earth?
If that's what has unfolded, I don't know if it was exactly the same way. We do know that we got help from outside. But if that's what's unfolding here or has unfolded here, I'm so close to it that I don't see it or didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they say, when you're in the thick of it, you can't see the forest from the trees. Yeah. It's possible that's exactly what happened here. I don't know, but I'm not aware of an entire underground culture of spiritual beings unless it's the walk-ins, it's the NDEs that have returned with this special with this advanced DNA or ramped up DNA, or if it's in fact boots on the ground that were here helping together this entire group. I suppose maybe it's possible. I would think maybe that it is possible, but I do not know for a fact if that's how if it's unfolded here the same way it did there. I haven't been read into it.